The choice this election is between corporate and oligarchic power. There is a civil war within capitalism. Kamala Harris is the face of corporate power. Donald Trump is the mascot of the oligarchs. Either way, we lose. Y'all know I love Chris Hedges. This is long. Buckle in. The choice in the elections is between corporate and oligarchic power. Corporate power needs stability and a technocratic government. Oligarchic power thrives on chaos and, as Steve Bannon says, the destruction of the administrative state. Neither are democratic. They have each bought up the political class, the academy, and the press. Both are forms of exploitation that impoverish and disempower the public. Both funnel money upwards and into the hands of the billionaire class. Both dismantle regulations, destroy labor unions, gut government services in the name of austerity, privatize every aspect of American society, from utilities to schools, perpetrate permanent wars, including the G-side in Gaza, and neuter a media that should, if it was not controlled by corporations and the rich, investigate their pillage and corruption. Both forms of capitalism disembowel the country, but they do it with different tools and have different goals. Kamala Harris, anointed by the richest Democratic Party donors without receiving a single primary vote, is the face of corporate power. Donald Trump is the buffoonish mascot for the oligarchs. This is the split within the ruling class. It is a civil war within capitalism played out on the political stage. The public is little more than a prop in an election where neither party will advance their interests or protect their rights. This person refers to corporate power as housebroken capitalism. Housebroken capitalists need consistent government policies and fixed trade agreements because they have made investments that take time, sometimes years, to mature. Manufacturing and agriculture industries are examples of housebroken capitalism. And he does this interview with George Manabot, the man who wrote Invisible Doctrine, The Secret History of Neoliberalism. Those two authors, Manabot and Hutchinson, refer to oligarchic power as warlord capitalism. Warlord capitalism seeks the total eradication of all impediments to the accumulation of profits, including regulations, laws, and taxes. It makes its money by charging rent, by erecting toll booths to every service we need to survive, and collecting exorbitant fees. The political champions of warlord capitalism are demagogues of the far right, including Trump, Boris Johnson, that person. They sow dissension by peddling absurdities such as the Great Replacement theory and dismantling structures that provide stability, such as the European Union. This creates uncertainty, fear, and insecurity. Those that orchestrate this insecurity promise, if we surrender even more rights and civil liberties, that they will save us from phantom enemies such as immigrants, Muslims, and other demonized groups. The epicenters of warlord capitalism are private equity firms. Private equity firms such as Apollo, Blackstone, the Carlyle Group, and Kohlberg, Kravis, Roberts buy up and plunder businesses. They pile on debt. They refuse to reinvest. They slash stuff. They willfully drive companies into bankruptcy. The object is not to sustain businesses, but to harvest them for assets to make short-term profit. Those who run these firms, such as Leon Black, Henry Kravis, Stephen Schwartzman, and David Rubenstein, have amassed personal fortunes in the billions of dollars. Trump's cohort of Silicon Valley backers, led by Elon Musk, were what the New York Times writes, finished with Democrats, regulator stability, all of it. They were opting instead for freewheeling, fortune-generating chaos that they knew from the startup world. They plan to plant devices in people's brains, replace national currencies with unregulated digital tokens, and replace generals with artificial intelligence systems. Billionaire Peter Thiel, a founder of PayPal and a Trump supporter, has waged war on confiscatory taxes. He funds an anti-tax political action committee and proposes the construction of floating nations that would impose no compulsory income taxes. Is not real American billionaire Miriam Adelson, widow of casino magnate with an estimated net worth of $35 billion, has given Trump $100 million for his campaign, while Adelson, who was born and raised in Is Not Real, is a fervent Also a club of the oligarchs who seek to slash taxes for the rich. The economist Adam Smith warned that unless rentier income was heavily taxed and put back into the financial system, it would self-destruct. The wreckage private equity firms and the oligarchs orchestrate is taken out on workers who are forced into a gig economy and who have seen stable salaries and benefits eradicated. It is taken out on pension funds that are depleted because of usurious fees or are abolished. It is taken out on our health and safety. Residents of nursing homes, for example, owned by private equity firms experience 10% more deaths, not to mention higher fees because of staffing shortages and reduced compliance with standards of care. Private equity firms are an invasive species. They are also ubiquitous. They have acquired educational institutions, utility companies, and retail chains while bleeding taxpayers hundreds of billions in subsidies, which are made possible by bought and paid for prosecutors, politicians, and regulators. What is particularly galling is that many of the industries seized by private equity firms, water, sanitation, electrical grids, hospitals, were paid for out of public funds. They cannibalized the nation, leaving behind shuttered and bankrupt industries. The housebroken capitalists are represented by politicians such as Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, Barack Obama, that person and that person. But housebroken capitalism is no less destructive. It pushed through the North American Free Trade Agreement, NAFTA, the greatest betrayal of the American working class since 1947 Taft-Hartley Act, which placed crippling restrictions on union organizing. It revoked the Banking Act of 1933, which separated commercial banking from investment banking, tearing down the firewall between commercial and investment banks led to the global financial meltdown in 2007 and 2008, including the collapse of nearly 500 banks. It pushed through the elimination of the Fairness Doctrine by the Federal Communications Commission under Ronald Reagan, as well as the Telecommunications Act under Bill Clinton's presidency, allowing a handful of corporations to consolidate control of media outlets. It destroyed the old welfare system, 70% of the recipients of whom were children. It doubled our prison population and militarized the police. In the process of moving manufacturing to countries such as Mexico, Bangladesh, and China, where workers toil in sweatshops, 30 million Americans were subjected to mass layoffs, according to the information compiled by the Labor Institute. Meanwhile, it piled up massive deficits. The federal budget deficit rose to $1.8 trillion in 2024, with total national debt approaching $36 trillion, and neglected our basic infrastructure, including electrical grids, roads, bridges, and public transportation, while spending more on military than all other major powers on earth combined. These two forms of capitalism are species of totalitarian capitalism, or what the political philosopher Sheldon Wolin calls inverted totalitarianism. I have trouble with that word. In each form of capitalism, democratic rights are abolished. The public is under constant surveillance. Labor unions are dismantled or defanged. The media serves the powerful, and dissident voices are silenced or criminalized. Everything is commoditized, from the natural world to our relationships. Grassroots and popular movements are outlawed. The ecocide continues. Politics is burlesque. Debt peonage and wage stagnation ensures political control and further consolidation of wealth. Banks and corporate financiers enslave not only individuals with debt peonage, but also cities, municipalities, states, and federal government. The rise in interest rates, coupled with declining public revenues, especially through taxation, is a way to extract the last bits of capital from citizens as well as from the government. It's almost 10 minutes. This was a long article. Great. If you want to go read the rest. Don't forget to hit those buttons over there. I hope your day doesn't suck. Don't lick any boots today. Love y'all. Okay, bye.